Hey, you out on the streets, don't you see it? Okay, I've played that joke many times. I'm sorry. So, Johnny Somali. Oh man, that's a name I did not expect to be hearing, but he has been all over the place. I mean, where do we even begin with Johnny Somali? This man actually needs no introduction. He is the definition of a kick streamer and an IRL menace. I mean, okay. Well, we'll give you a brief rundown. So, our favorite episode is when he was in Japan, basically causing a menace towards everybody. And Japanese people are, at least to what I've been told, and I haven't been to Japan, so, to my tourists, to my travelers, to tell me, but they're a bit more on the polite side and they'll leave you alone. They won't go after you. Unless you're, tangoing with the Yakuza, which Johnny was tangoing with. And so, yeah, he was eventually arrested in Japan, but I believe they let him go after he was imprisoned. So, that's where we are today. And so, you want to know what else he's been up to, okay? There was that time he was in Israel causing a menace. But I hadn't keep up with that saga. But this one, this has to take the cake. So, Johnny is in Korea, all right? And there's some about Koreans that I feel like people don't fully understand, or people don't really get, is that they don't take any nonsense, okay? Have you met a Korean person? They don't take any nonsense. Of course, like, if you're nice to them, they're nice to you, as far as we know. But, however, in some cases, you mess around their country, they will hunt you down. I mean, the guy literally has the whole country literally hunting him down. I believe I saw like this one channel where it literally live streams like wherever he's going, and it's kind of insane. But you might be asking yourself, how do you get to this conclusion? Like, you don't just, have a whole country wanting to chase you down. I mean, imagine I was causing a ruckus in America and all of America was trying to hunt me. You have to do something. So, where do we begin? So, the first offense, to my knowledge, that I know of is that he was a little bit disrespectful to a bit of a statue. What is the statue, you may ask? Is this thing called a comfort woman. Now, a bit of a history lesson for you, but, back when Japan was in Korea in World War II, they took Korean women as prizes. We'll put it that way, as prizes. And you can imagine what they did with those prizes. And it rhymes with crepe, or crepe in French, but crepe, as you English people would say. So, yeah, I'll leave that to your imagination. And Korea doesn't really take too kind to that, but I just want you to see for yourselves what exactly Johnny was up to.
Japan hates this thing. Tell them why.
Let me sit down with it. Put it, hold it.
Japan hates. Let me sit down with it. I don't know if it's disrespect to sit there. I stand with the Korean people. Bring it closer to you. Come closer. I stand with the Korean people. I love Korea. And everything that I did in Japan was for the Korean and the Chinese people. Let's go. Let's get out of here. They're gonna clip that. Oh my God. Oh my God. They didn't like this at all. They did not like this.
I mean, when you're desecrating a part of history, I feel like nobody would like that. I mean, imagine you went to like a slave mound and you peed on it, bro. That's kind of insane. Oh, by the way, that's not the only thing he did, but I'm not going to show you what else he did with that statue, but they were not happy about it. And so, however, okay, you might be thinking, okay, he just desecrated a statue, or he just, he messed with the statue. That's very important to the history. He decided to educate us on some Korean history. So, why don't we get educated together? Because perhaps, you and I could, learn to be a bit more informed. Yeah, informed is the better word I'm looking for here. So let's go get informed together, shall we? You know what I'm saying? You want to get informed with me? Let's get informed together.
A little bit of history. There's no such thing as the EC, it's the Sea of Japan. There's no such thing as Dokdo Island. It's Takeshima Island. No Dokdo Island. Takeshima Island. Japan number 1. Okay? Korea number 50 maybe.
Get used to this. Y'all niggas need to get used to this.
Afner sent $5. All you corn.
Oh, I can't do that. Use the Roman salute. And don't let the media fool you. This is this is really what the Korean comfort women were. I trust the Japanese more than y'all. If you look into the documentation, if you really want to talk about the comfort women, the Korean comfort women were prostitutes.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh my! Oh wow! Woo! Misinformation at its finest. Woo! Woo! And so, what kills me is the fact that this guy managed to piss off like 3 different countries at the same time in one session. That has to be like on the record. But we need to get more educated because while learning that they were just night walkers, what else could we learn about this? Help us, Johnny. Give us a clue.
Japanese people, I like Japanese culture. Let's be honest, there's not really anything as such as Korean culture. The only Korean culture there is Korea is a cheap copy of Japan. Korea is a cheap copy of Japan with America mixed in. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys don't really have your own culture. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest about that.
Woo! Okay. I actually can't. I know I'm trying to make light of this, but holy, this is hurting my soul just listening to this. Woo! He said Korea is a cheap copy of Japan. You ever heard of that old phrase that all Asian people look alike, even though there's literally differences that I can tell, and you can tell, and an average person can probably tell. Wow. Okay. So now that we're up to speed, all right. So that's not the only stuff that he's done, by the way. This is the stuff that I found that I was, that was a little not the worst of the worst, because there's a lot. Okay, I'm not a Johnny Somali archive channel, all right. I'm literally just a guy on the internet. But you might be asking, how bad is it for him in Korea? Because I mentioned earlier that the whole country is hunting down for him, and because they really want a piece of that Ethiopian some. Yeah, he's Ethiopian. He's not even Somalian. It's just really funny. That's the ironic part about all of it. So if you want to see him get his shit rocked, watch these clips with me, because if you ever heard of a word called consequences, this is consequences is like dancing on this man. It's like it's hitting that Michael Jackson. When the fun starts, don't stop till you get enough. Woo! Yeah. So, like I said, Korea don't play. Y'all gotta see this. Woo!
알았어. 아니 프렌드. 아니. 오케이. 아메리칸 프렌드.
Shut the fuck up.
아메리칸 프렌드.
That Korean friend gonna
아메리칸 프렌드. 아 침투야. 너.
닥쳐 이 병신아.
쏘리 노쏘리. 소녀상에 키스한 거 쏘리 노쏘리요. 빨리 얘기해. 소녀상 올라간 거 쏘리 노쏘리. 소녀상 올라간 거 쏘리 노쏘리. 대답하세요. 소녀상 올라간 거 쏘리 노쏘리요. 때린다. 들어와.
찍지 말라고.
진짜
찍지 말라고.
에이.
찍지 말라고. 야, 소말리. 어디가?
어디가?
어?
어디가?
어디가?
Don't touch my shoe.
어디가?
Don't touch me, nigga.
어?
Huh?
소말리 어디가?
Yes, sir.
어디 가냐고.
You guys calling me crazy? Look
야,
at you.
어디가?
어디가? What you mean? 어디가?
어디가?
What is 어디가? Oh.
Unfortunately, TOS swings harder than an angry Korean man, so I couldn't show you what happened to him. But if you want the gist of it, he was messing around in a convenience store, I believe, in that particular pic or video, and then what ended up happening is that people pulled up on him, and he said, "Yo, let's fight," and he got rocked because Johnny Somali is not someone who can fight. Okay, he may instigate you, but he doesn't want to fight. And then the other clip was him literally walking around because he's public enemy number one. And guess what happens? Okay, you want to know what happens to him? He got knocked down. He just got shoved. But it's not like it wasn't deserved. Now, of course, I don't wish violence on anybody. Okay, I don't do that. However, I'm a big fan of consequences, and this is textbook consequences. Now, what I want to point to you is, in Korea, there's been this account that's actually kept up with its activities, and there's two tweets that really stuck out to me that I want to show you guys. And so the first tweet that I have for you here is, so Johnny Somali update, convenience store obstruction finally brought to justice, urine test positive for THC, investigation underway for assault, deepfakes, etc. If found guilty of drug charges, maximum sentence of 10 years. I'm on Discord, so I haven't been arrested yet, but my passport was taken away and I was banned from leaving the country. YouTube has suspended both. And now the third one, this is channels. In South Korea, when questioned in the National Assembly, they replied that they were monitoring several TV stations have opened a YouTube live broadcast to broadcast Johnny Somali news 24 hours a day. Gino quickly returned to Arizona. Nikki, the special forces who beat him, came out that day. Yeah, it's not looking really good for Johnny. And now, the deep faking stuff, I don't even want to touch that because that sounds like an insane, what's the word we're looking for? Insane act, I guess. I don't know. This guy has really been on a whole menace arc, and it looks like he's got what's coming to him. Now, the next one I want to point to you guys is this update, where it says here, a scene of Johnny Somali being arrested was posted on YouTube. The attacker tattooed YouTuber Yunli Kyol TV and Johnny Somali were taken away in a police car. They were taken to a hospital for treatment. Yunli Kyol TV said, "From now on, if people like Somali come to Korea, I'll deal with them. So don't mess around, W Korea." Yeah, I can't say I disagree with him. It's kind of like, you come in my house and you disrespect my shite, yeah, you're gonna get rocked. But anyways, so Johnny also mentioned that he could be facing 10 years, so I'm gonna point you guys towards this little section of what Korean prison could look like for him, because I feel like that's really important to take a look at. So let's take a bit of a detour, shall we? All right. So we're over here now. So what we're going to look at is each section of like the Ministry of Justice for Korea. So this basically tells us exactly how they treat the prisoners, because from the looks of it, Johnny Somali is going to be spending some time in here because, as you know, he's not allowed to leave the country. He's not allowed to. He's basically stuck there. So. And I believe he has also like multiple like infractions is the word I'm looking for. Infractions, charges, all that stuff. So looking here, you have like reception, lawsuit, acquittal, transfer of inmate, classification, treatment, and release. And here you have the conviction. But we're gonna go through each of these sections real quick. So this is like the admission. And so I want to look at like, for example, like his accommodation. Like, how would that work? And so here it says, it's gonna load. So accommodation environment. So KCS, or Korea Correctional Service, endeavors to create modernized facilities that allow inmates emotional stability and human rights, thereby encouraging their success reintegration to the society. Clothes and food, so of course you're giving your clothes and food. Housing and welfare facilities, so they're provided a living room with floor heating system and bathroom equipped with new toilets as well. And enlightening correctional facilities, so facilities have been changed with building placement and designed to the advanced facilities so that its purpose is in the correction rather than in the imprisonment. It allows human lives for inmates. So this is what they're saying so far. So essentially he's going to be treated to, for the most part, how most prisons that I know of work. But that's just me. And now, if we look at, like outside contact, for instance, so say his family wants to be in contact with them, though I don't know who in their right mind want to contact this moron. So looking at visitations, in case of inmate under trial, the frequency of his or her visitations is not limited. Normally, they're allowed to have a visit every day. In case of a convicted inmate, the number of visits is increased from twice per month to at least 4 times a month since January of 2000. And if it is necessary for their correction, the visitation can be allowed in spite of the frequency limitation. Of course, they're allowed letters, but may write letters outside of any limitation of frequency if it is not against the security of institution or the rehabilitation of inmates. If inmate is unable to write letter by him or herself, a prison guard may assist at his or her request. Postage are basically paid by inmates. And of course, they are allowed phone calls as well. Now, I'm kind of curious about this next part here, where it talks about education and reformation. Now, I have no idea what this means in terms of like Korean prison, so we're gonna take a look. So you have education programs, so it helps inmates to recover self-respect, overcome social disconnection, and dream of new lives as well. Furthermore, education and rehabilitation system for the disabled are operated to lead the successful return to the society. So essentially, from what I'm gathering from what they're saying is basically Korean prisons, in theory, are supposed to rehabilitate you back into society. However, the difference between a Korean inmate and a foreigner is that a foreigner is probably going to get hazed a lot. And as you've seen with some of these clips, Johnny is somebody who's been menacing every single aspect of Korea. So you tell me, like, the guy has the whole country hunting him, which is kind of insane that a whole country is basically after you. But Koreans don't play. They don't play at all. So this just tells you some more information about the reformation programs and all that stuff. So you can actually see there's different aspects. However, when it comes to something like family relationship recovery program, what is Johnny going to get? This guy is literally by himself in Korea. I don't know what's going to happen here. Who knows? But if I was his mother or father, I'd probably disown him too. And this is the one that's kind of insane, where it has the prisoner label and vocational training. So you have prison labor, which is pretty standard in most prisons, to my knowledge. But essentially, Johnny's going to be working a lot. And to be honest, if I would put a passion to get, worked a bit extra, because this guy is literally, a menace to society. But anyways, I just want to take a quick look at how Korea does their prisons. And this is from the official website. So yeah, back to the video. Just to put a bow on everything, because I feel like there's not much to say about this. When it comes to Johnny Somali, okay, he is actually probably the worst IRL streamer. Actually, no, I might go to Fuzi too, but anyways, one of the worst. Alright? And for the longest time, everybody has been saying, and everyone who with some actual decency has been saying, he's going to mess with the wrong people. And so, instead of messing with the wrong people, he messed with the wrong country, because everybody in Korea hates this guy. And it kind of goes to show that whenever you travel and you're not in your own house, because he is an American citizen, yeah, you don't know what kind of stuff you're messing with. You don't know how people will perceive you. And mind you, when you go to other parts of the world and you don't look like them, they're going to look at you a certain way. So now I can imagine that even though this guy isn't Somalian, I can see now that like Korean people could perceive this as, oh man, all Somalians are menaces. When first of all, he's not even Somalian, and second of all, yeah, it's not looking good for them. And on top of all that, it's just like, what was he expecting? Was he expecting to not get slapped up when he went to someone else's hood? Like, what are you expecting? So I'm just a little baffled that this actual moron was just like, hey, I'm gonna go to Korea and I'm gonna go and have some fun and yeah. And even funnier, his homeboy literally went back to Arizona. So this guy is literally stranded in Korea by himself. So this is just a long time coming. This guy was going to get punished from jump, and now that I'm seeing it live, guess what? It is what it is. So take a L. Take your L, Johnny. And for the love of God, I don't believe he'll learn from it, but for his own sake, he better learn from this experience, because yeah. Getting arrested for clout only gets you so far. But anyways, yeah, so that's the Johnny Somali update. Maybe next time we might find him in a bit of a less interesting situation. Hopefully he's just, a regular IRL streamer, and then that's the end of that. But, yeah, I got nothing else for you guys. If you enjoyed this type of content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my social in the description below. But, that's it for me today, so see ya.